All right, developing overnight, deep divisions between the federal government and local leaders over the investigation into the deadly shooting of 37-year-old Alex Preddy on a Minneapolis street yesterday.
Yeah, a judge has now ordered federal officials to preserve the evidence. And our Audrey Rousseau joins us now with what exactly that means and where the investigation stands right now.
Yeah, that's right. We got the news around midnight, and this motion to preserve evidence was filed by the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension and the Hennepin County Attorney's Office, two agencies that say they've been blocked by the feds from starting their usual use of force investigation. Now, the federal judge's order includes any evidence that agents removed from the scene and evidence that they took into their exclusive custody. In the filing from the Minnesota officials, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem and Border Patrol Commander Greg Bavino are named among a long list of defendants. The next court hearing is scheduled for tomorrow at 2 p.m. And this comes after local and state investigators say they were cut off from the evidence and the case files in the Renee Good shooting death just 2 weeks ago. Back to you.
Audrey, thank you for that update. And after the shooting, the Department of Homeland Security said Preddy was approaching agents with a gun and that they acted in self-defense.
Yeah, but videos and various views of the incident tell a whole different story. Our Lure Goose breaks it down.
37-year-old Minneapolis man and U.S. citizen Alex Preddy was protesting ICE and recording video in the middle of the street at Nicollet Avenue and 26th Street when one video shows him try to help a woman who was pushed down by a federal agent. Video shows an agent spray Preddy in the face. He struggles with several of them, and they shoot him multiple times. After the shooting, Homeland Security officials shared a photo of a handgun and magazines they recovered from Preddy. Secretary Kristi Noem characterized it like this.
This individual went and impeded their law enforcement operations, attacked those officers, had a weapon on him, and dozens of rounds of ammunition, wishing to inflict harm on these officers, brandishing like that.
But Preddy never brandishes the gun or even reaches for it in any of the videos publicly posted. And look at this. A federal officer pulls Preddy's gun from the back of his pants on this video as the agent next to him draws his weapon. That agent then fires all or most of the 10 shots we can hear after Preddy was disarmed right in front of him. Normally, the state's Bureau of Criminal Apprehension would begin a use of force investigation.
But unfortunately, in these recent events, others outside of the state are making decisions that does not occur.
BCA Superintendent Drew Evans says after federal agents blocked them from the crime scene, they got a warrant from a judge. Remarkable, considering the crime scene is a public street.
But we did that attempting to have judicial approval to enter this scene to gather evidence. We were once again blocked by federal authorities to go in and do that scene examination.
Noem made it clear that Homeland Security investigations would be conducting any investigation of their own federal officer, while Evans and Hennepin County Attorney Mary Moriarty are encouraging anyone with videos or other evidence to send it to them as well.
State officials say they do not know the identity of the agent who shot Preddy. They say federal authorities will not share that information. Border Patrol Chief Greg Bavino says the officer who fired those shots is a Border Patrol agent with 8 years of experience and extensive training.
Well, chaotic moments following the shooting as federal agents left the scene yesterday morning, dropping chemical irritants on protesters and bystanders. So this is what our crews captured as some of those agents drove away along First Avenue South. As you can see, crowds following behind them, shouting as the ICE agents left. One agent can be seen walking back and forth with some sort of chemical gas canister. We spoke with one man just after those agents left.
They asked us to let them leave. There were a couple people who helped control the crowd, help clear a path for everybody on the way out. They got 5, 6, 7 vehicles out. Last car, and nobody throwing anything, yelling, sure, nobody threw anything, nobody damaged the vehicle. And they dropped tear gas on the crowd as the last car drove away. So we let them out. Nobody touched anything. Yeah, said some words, which they clearly deserve by this point. They tear gassed the crowd after the crowd did everything they asked to let them leave. They gassed the entire crowd where people are living on that block.
Now, the crowd eventually ended up at 26th and Nicollet as they set up barricades and began to rally. We also heard from witnesses of the shooting and its aftermath, including a woman who was on her way to church when the shots rang out. Our Jessica Hart shares what they saw.
Sounds no one wants to hear, and gas no one wants to breathe, has once again consumed Minneapolis.
None of this is okay. None of this is okay. This should not be happening.
It's got to stop. I don't know how it's going to stop.
Sandra Boswell,
I've lived 57 years, almost 58 years, and I've never seen anything like this in my life.
Heard what led to this.
So I'm crossing 27th and I hear gunshots, and a lady came running down the street and grabbed me and hugged me, and they tear gassed her. I went down the street and he was laying in the street. He was laying at the bus stop, and there was no chance because there were so many holes in blood, and I think it's wrong. I hope he wasn't scared, and I hope he went to heaven right away.
Saturday morning, Alex Preddy was shot and killed by federal agents.
Seeing that man like that is wrong. You can't go around shooting people.
Yesterday felt like a little bit of positivity with the protests and all the turnout, and then you wake up this morning and it's all just torn right out from under you again. So just can't take it anymore. All
of these people couldn't take it anymore either, which is why they came to the scene and why Sandra shared her story.
Something's got to stop. I don't know what. I don't know how we're going to stop this, but it's got to stop.
In Minneapolis, Jessica Hart, KARE 11 News.